basically, procrastination is a problem with getting started. There are lots of tasks that are very vague and icky.
You made a video about procrastination, didn't you?
Yeah.
Break that down for me. What's in the video? So the video is called "How to Stop Procrastinating," right?
Yeah. So the way I think about procrastination, basically, procrastination is a problem with getting started. Kind of this law of inertia, Newton's first law, that if something is at rest, it will continue to stay at rest. But if something's moving, it will continue to move without needing an external force. And so the key to overcoming procrastination is that little nudge at the start towards actually getting started. And all of the techniques around that, like in the whole psychology research around this, is just around make it as easy as possible. So reduce all of the friction to doing it. If you want to learn the guitar, then have the guitar by your sofa rather than in the wardrobe where you're never going to see it. And if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, you're never going to do it. There's like the external environmental friction towards doing the thing. But then there's also the internal friction. It's like those narratives that we tell ourselves, the psychological discomfort of going to the gym, the I don't want to see how other people are going to see me, the even having the wrong sort of goal. Like if my goal in writing the book is, I really want to hit the New York Times bestseller list, then it's really, really hard to bring myself to write anything, because now every single word I have to write has to be a New York Times bestselling word. Whereas if the goal is, to be honest, I just want to write a book I'm proud of, that's fun to write, that's actually within my control. And it becomes so much easier to get started at doing the thing. So to overcome procrastination, we need to eliminate external friction, i.e. the environmental stuff. We need to try our best to get rid of the internal friction, like the emotional side of it, the mindset, the perfectionism, the fear, the discomfort. And then if we still need help, there are a few hacks. The one that I use all the time is the 2-minute rule, which is where I will genuinely convince myself I'm only going to do it for 2 minutes. And if I want, I'm allowed to stop after the 2 minutes, because 2 minutes is better than nothing. But like 95% of the time, I decide to continue because 2 minutes is all you need to change your life.
Yeah,
I should tweet that. That's good.
That's really good. That 2-minute thing is fascinating to me, because one of the things that I see as another psychological barrier to starting is people view it as like, they view the challenge as Mount Everest, whereas they've got I'll say it in another way, they view the challenge as moving Mount Everest. And really, if they viewed it as just like moving one pebble at a time, it becomes such a simple task.
Yeah.
And I get this a lot when entrepreneurs ask me, they say, Steve, I want to start a business. Where do I start? And you can hear in the question that they see it as moving Mount Everest. Yeah. And I'm like, well, today, all you have to do is think of a name. Just think of like 50 names, make a short list of names. Yeah. And then we'll revisit it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, maybe think of, go and check if the website's available. And then we'll revisit it the day after.
Yeah.
And when it becomes that, and when it becomes sort of really small, itemized, one small step at a time, and you're not having to get from stair 0 to 1,000 immediately, it becomes so, the psychological discomfort fades away. It feels achievable. And that your 2-minute rule is doing a similar thing, where it's saying, well, today I've only got to do just if I can open the Word document and write the title, and then we're done. And so that's fascinating. What about, you were going to say something else there?
Yeah, I mean, just to your point there, have you come across the blog Wait But Why?
No.
Oh, it's incredible. You should definitely interview Tim Urban when you're in America.
Oh, do you know what? I literally yesterday went on his Instagram and sent him a DM.
Oh, great. Yeah, he's awesome. Any podcast he's ever been on, I've been like, oh, this is so sick. He has a great blog post series about overcoming procrastination. And the way he refers to that point you just made is that there are lots of tasks that are very vague and icky. And you have to be able to un-ickify a task. And something like start a business is icky. Something like learn to code is icky, because what the hell does that even mean? Like, where do you even start? Whereas brainstorm 10 ideas for a name and pick one of them is a very clearly defined next action step. And so I get this with students all the time, where people are like, oh, I don't have the motivation to study for my chemistry exam. It's like, what's on your to-do list? Study for my chemistry exam. That's never going to happen. Read chapter 1 and answer questions 4 to 5 are a reasonable thing, a reasonably defined next action step. And so what I do is, anytime I find myself procrastinating from something, I think, okay, am I procrastinating because I actually, the task is too icky? I don't know what I have to do. Because once I know what I have to do, I can then do it for 2 minutes and it gets done.